Welcome to the first edition of Terror Town Talk with Coach Rocky Hidalgo. I'm your host, Dan Meyers. Each week we'll be recapping Friday night's Red Terror football action and discussing our upcoming opponent. This week's show is brought to you by Peachtree Pest Control and Island Ace Hardware. If you'd like your business to be featured on Terror Town Talk Show, shoot Coach Rock an email at the email address in the description below. Without further ado, let's welcome the head football coach of your Red Terrors, Coach Rocky Hidalgo. Woo!
There you go. You did a good job with that.
Woo.
Awesome. It's like we've done this before. We have. So let's go. See how
All right, let's jump in. So, Coach, scrimmage this past week against Bainbridge. How'd you guys feel?
It was. I felt like the kids went out. We competed hard. We got a lot to work on, and that's not surprising. We only returned 3 starters from last year's team. Three guys who really started every game for us. We've got a lot of guys who played but haven't had to be the guy and rely on. So we made some mistakes. Defensively, I felt we played really hard. We ran to the football, didn't tackle real well, didn't fit on the ball real well, cost us. We gave up 3 big plays, and that was the difference in the game, 21-14. Offensively, I felt like we were a step better from the week before. We made some plays on the ball down the field. But we've got a lot to work on. Got to work on, protecting the quarterback. Got to throw the ball on time. Got to be more physical up front with the offensive line. So the good news is I felt like we improved a little bit. The bad news is we have a lot to work on. And so, we talked to the team about that. Let's go back to work and focus on us and get a week better.
Fantastic. You mentioned this improvement week over week. So this was the second preseason scrimmage this year. We've deviated from the traditional spring practices and spring games. Can you kind of explain that process and how that worked out for you guys?
For 25 years I've had a spring practice, and it was the first year I didn't do it. Our teams tend to improve more during the season with the games they played. So for us, it was just a matter of let's look at this. Let's get another game under our belt and give them an opportunity to play one more game. Have one more game experience, especially with a team that only had 3 starters coming back. I think in 2015 we had 17 or 18 starters coming back. We were really good on the first day of spring football. The last few years we've only had 4, 5, 6 starters coming back. So it's been a different football team for us, or a different season. I think it's just something we'll kind of have to gauge at the end of the year if I liked it or not.
Gotcha. So that was spring. What did you guys do over summer? I know last summer was kind of wasted. You had times, kids coming in certain times. Coaches were here 12, 14, 18 hours a day. This year was a little bit more of a normal summer. What did that guy look like for you guys?
Last year was very different. This year was we generally work Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and we bring the kids in about 8:30, and we try to get them out of here about 11:30. So it's 3 hours a day. This year was a little different because our practice field was shut down. It was in such bad shape. We practiced all year at Lanier. So just loading kids on a bus, driving to Lanier, unloading, loading back on, that takes about an additional hour. So we were 8:30 to about 12:30 every day, or Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Wednesdays, we use those for our camp days. We go to camps. We go to 7-on-7 on those days. We went to Ware a couple times and threw in some 7-on-7 tournaments. Did one here in Brunswick, and then we had 2 team camps. We hosted a team camp here with about 7 or 8 teams, and then we went to a camp at Coffee County that had about 7 or 8 teams in it.
Fantastic. Sounds like a successful summer. Good practice. We're going to pause here for a word from our sponsors for just a moment.
Rocky Hidalgo, the Glen Academy Red Terror. Just like the quarterback, a person's home is their most valuable asset. We like to use the big uglies up front to keep the pests out of our backfield. And when it comes to my backyard, I trust Peachtree Pest Control. Termites, rodents, ants, and any other types of pests, Peachtree Pest Control tackles them all for you. Protect your house and all your pest control needs. Contact Peachtree Pest Control. Go Terrors!
Welcome back, guys. Thank you to our sponsors again for helping us host this great event. Coach, typically, we've been talking about this preseason. Typically, the speed of the game slows down for the younger guys after game 1 to game 2. Did we have any young guys that stood out this past week?
I think it was David Prince's kid. He had a touchdown pass. David's got immense potential, and it's just kind of learning on the job training, as they say. He's a kid that's done very well. Unfortunately, Greg Peacock was out this week with an injury. He's a freshman who's going to be a spectacular player here at GA. I think Tyler Devlin, quarterback. is going to be really, really good. He got dinged up with he got a hip injury. I think he'll be ready to go against McIntosh this week, but we're being really careful with that. Jack Hunt continues to impress on the offensive line. He's only a sophomore over there, but I think, you look at our linebacker situation. We got, Devontae Lang is a sophomore. He's going to be a really good player for us back there. Cab Cavanis did some really good things. Eric Cash is a kid who's a senior who's spot played here or there, special teams, played on JV last year, had a really good night against Bainbridge. He's really earned some playing time. JT Gibbons and DJ Riley at corner did a nice job at corner on Friday night. I think they're going to just continue to get better and better as the season goes on.
Fantastic. Scout team. Most important part of a football team is the scout team.
Yes.
How are you able to bring those guys along to show you a good look?
To me, it's the most important thing that you do early in the year is you develop your scout team. And so right now we have all the varsity kids. So when we're running team defense, the varsity offense is coaching the scout team. And our goal is to get those kids up to speed so we can get a good look. Right now it's not a great look, and we're getting better with it. But it takes 4 or 5 weeks to develop a scout team. A lot of times your scout team, depending on how many kids you have in the program, can be like, juniors, and they're your backups, they're your twos, and you usually get a good look. Well, we don't have a lot of kids that play with their hand on the ground in the junior and sophomore class. So a lot of those kids are freshmen that are giving us a scout team look. So it's going to take some time to kind of get them up to speed and make sure they give us a good look. And as that improves, our teams, offensive and defensive teams, will improve.
Certainly. Any scout team players?
Yeah, I think if you go back, look in there, I think Tristan Brown's a kid that has worked really hard out there. All of our kids work really hard at that stuff. Bruce Edwards has worked giving us a look. Peyton Parker, Danya Broughton is a kid that's coming along, and Max Poisky's done a good job. Keziah Austin has gone in there and competed. We had a 9th grader, Mitchell Weaver, come in and play some center this week, and it's been really impressive. He's going to be a really good player for us, and he's done a nice job over there on the scout team.
Fantastic. Specialist looks to be a pretty good group this season. Touch on our specialist team.
We've been fortunate. We have some really good kickers. Have always had really good kickers. We've got a tradition here of doing that, and I think we've got 2 top-notch kickers this year, and Cody Arnold and Jonathan Sasser are 2 kids who can really kick the ball, extra point field goals. Jonathan's super accurate on those things. Cody's got a big leg on kickoffs and punts, and I think we've got a young kid in Tucker as a 9th grader is going to be really good. He can already stick the ball in the end zone. So I feel really good about our kicking situation. Still trying to find a kid to kick with the JV. I think there's a guy out there. You know who I'm talking about. If you watch this, I want you to come out and kick, and we're pressuring him to come out and kick. It's got a chance to be a good one. But our goal is to have a kicker in each class. And so you're always developing kickers. Coach Kip Hall does a nice job coaching those guys, and hopefully we'll continue to have a great tradition with guys who can put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, Coach Kip, he's got a really successful group. What's it going to take to get a smile on his face?
It's virtually impossible, I think. The Bulldogs win, he smiles. If the Bulldogs beat Florida, he might come in smiling at it.
So he hasn't smiled much in the last 30 or so years.
Not too much.
So we're going to pause here for another word from our sponsors.
Being a homeowner, you're responsible for protecting your home turf, and there's a store right here in our backyard with all the tools to get the job done. Island Ace Hardware, right off Frederica Road. Whether you're working on your ground game, looking to air it out, or looking to smoke the competition, Island Ace has it all. Island Ace on St. Simon's Island is a proud partner of our 2019 Glen Academy Red Terrors football team.
All right, guys, welcome back. Thank you again to our sponsors for making this great event happen. You've got some new guys on staff. Want to give us a quick rundown of some of the new guys and what their roles are?
Man, I love our coaching staff, and the last few years have been weird. Last year, because of COVID, I was really hesitant to hire guys because I didn't know what was going to happen. I was worried about budget issues and people cutting teachers, and I just didn't want to bring anybody in. And I lost some teachers the year before that were late. Alfred Floyd, who was a longtime coach for Glen Academy, took a job in Macon. And it was disappointing to lose him, but the flip side of that is we weren't able to kind of really replace him. So this year we went out and we hired some guys, and first we hired Ben Burkett, who's been at Brantley in Wayne County, and he's working with he's our 9th grade head coach, working with our offensive lineman. Alex Mathis, we hired from Brantley County, and Alex has done a great job. We brought him in to oversee our college recruiting. And that's a huge job for somebody, and it's tough. And Coach Cruz was running that for us a few years ago, and he went into administration. It was kind of a void we were trying to fill. Alex has done a great job getting information about our players out to colleges and taking kids to trips, and that's really helped, because that's a huge job that it's hard for just the head coach to handle the recruiting stuff. We were fortunate to get E-Man Westmoreland back from Wisconsin. We lost him a few years ago. A lot of you guys who played in the program a couple of years ago know E-Man. He's a great coach. He's working with our wide receivers. And we had Fred Johnson come in. Fred played at Marshall and came in and wandered off the street looking for a job. And man, he has been a spectacular coach. It was like hitting the lottery with him. So, we had a great staff here. I think the guys we've brought in has really complemented those things. What our staff can do. They're a lot of fun. I think if you've been following you need to follow our Glen Academy Football TikTok channel. That thing has gone off the hook. Coach Mathis has done a good job of kind of getting the word out about Glen Academy football and bringing some fun to that. I'm a 48-year-old codger. I want to coach football, and that's kind of not in my wheelhouse. And those guys have really done a great job. Coach Wright and Coach Mathis have a lot of fun with it. So, we've got 17 really good football coaches out here working with our kids.
Yeah, with that TikTok, has Coach Wright gotten any sponsorship opportunities?
It should be coming. He might get his NIL chance after, even though he's left West Georgia. But their most recent one, I think, had about 150,000 views as of this taping.
That's fantastic. So you got a guy on staff, Coach Irby. Does he have a flip-flop sponsor?
He should. He should. I don't think he owns shoes with that covers his toes, to be honest with you.
I've never seen a coach on the practice field in flip-flops every single day.
My first year here, I wore flip-flops to the spring game. I can't tell you how many emails I got about wearing flip-flops. I used to wear them out there and got my foot. Coach Irby's a quarterback coach, so he's over there with the pretty boys. He's not in the thick of it like the line coaches are. I used to wear flip-flops every now and then and got my foot stepped on by a 300. I think it was Alante Hillary stepped on my foot. About lost 2 toes. It was, and I've got a toenail that still doesn't grow back right because of it. And so I gave up on the flip-flops. I try to protect myself best as I can.
Fantastic. So coming up this week, we got something special going on Thursday night.
Yep.
The Turkey Bowl.
Yep.
Give us a little preview of what we can expect, why these guys need to be out here Thursday night.
Well, we try to get our kids, we start the JV season a week from this Thursday. We want them to get a game scenario in and play a game if we can. Both of them, our 9th graders and JV, have had a chance to kind of get in the scrimmages and play a little bit. But Thursday will be what we call our Turkey Bowl. It's our JV versus our 9th grade. We'll do it here on the practice field. We got 95 Wings is going to come out. They're going to provide concessions for us over there. So they'll be selling food on the sidelines. We're going to feed the kids hot dogs, the players hot dogs after. The Booster Club's cooking hot dogs for the kids. It's going to be a fun night. Parents need to come out, bring their lawn chairs, bring an ice chest and a Coca-Cola and some snacks and get a chance to be up close and personal with your coaches and your kids. It's a great chance to meet them, see the guys who work with your players, with your sons every day, see them up close and watch how they interact with your kids. Got a great group of men, great group of players, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that relationship between coaches and players is so special, and you can't really see it on a Friday night when the marching band and the cheerleaders and all of that's going on. So this is a great opportunity to see that relationship.
Fridays, we're all high-strung. Thursdays is a little different, and the varsity coaches, it's we can have fun with it. Fridays is fun afterward. It's fun. We enjoy coaching. Don't get me wrong, but man, it's about winning. There's a lot of bullets flying around on Friday night.
100%. Last question: who's in the Super Bowl this year?
I'm hoping it's the Saints, but it's probably not. I
don't know if you saw Jameis Winston's game the other night.
Did he throw some interceptions?
I don't know if he completed a pass. To be honest,
I think it was the last time when he started, he threw 33 interceptions. That's not good. I don't watch a stitch of NFL football until our season's over with. Our coaches work on Sundays. I'm in the office about 9 a.m. I leave 6:30 to go do my coach's show with Scott Reifin. And so I don't watch a lot of NFL football. I watch college football on Saturdays. NFL football, I'll go with the Chiefs because they're the Chiefs and they got the best player out of the NFC. I couldn't tell you, who's going to have a chance out of there one way or the other. That's it. I'll go with the Chiefs to win it. How's that?
All right, Chiefs are going to take it all. You heard it here first. So thanks, Coach. I really appreciate it. And thank you for watching our first edition of Terrortown Talk with Coach Rocky Hidalgo. We'd again like to thank our sponsors, Island Ace Hardware and Peachtree Pest Control, for supporting the program. If you or your business would like to be featured on Terrortown Talk, see the link in Coach Rock's email in the description. And be sure to like and share our videos to support the program. And don't forget to like and subscribe below. That's what all my kids' YouTube videos say. Is Cooper into YouTube?
Yes.
Oh,
of course
man.
he has his own YouTube channel. Yes.
We're going to have to get Cooper in here for an interview one week.
That'd be good.
We'll
get the Ball Boys.
The Ball Boys. That would be good. So don't forget to like and subscribe to the Red Terrors YouTube channel page to receive alerts when we post great stuff like this. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.